If all them young ladies was little white rabbits, I'd be a hare and I'd teach 'em bad habits. Roll your leg over, roll your leg over, roll your leg over, the man in the moon. If all them young ladies was rushes a-growing, I'd take out my scythe and I'd set out a-mowing. Roll your leg over, roll your leg over, roll your leg over, the man in the moon. If all them young ladies was fish in the ocean, I'd be a shark and I'd raise a commotion. Then roll your leg over, roll your leg over, roll your leg over, the man in the moon. If all them young ladies was sheep in the clover, I'd be a ram and I'd ram them all over. And roll your leg over, roll your leg over, roll your leg over, the man in the moon. Now if all them young ladies was little white vixen, I'd be a fox and I'd chase 'em and fix 'em. And roll your leg over, roll your leg over, roll your leg over, the man in the moon. If all them young ladies was grapes on the vine, I'd be a plucker and I'd have me a time. And roll your leg over, roll your leg over, roll your leg over, the man in the moon. If all them young ladies was bells in the tower, I'd be a sexton, I'd bang on the hour. Roll your leg over, roll your leg over, roll your leg over, the man in the moon. Now if all them young ladies was bricks in a pile, I'd be a mason, I'd lay them in style. And roll your leg over, roll your leg over, roll your leg over, the man in the moon. Now there's some who would hide them, conceal them or bind them, but hit or forbid, I'm the kid that would find them. And roll your leg over, roll your leg over, roll your leg over, the man in the moon. Ah, come all you children and listen to me while I sing you a song that will fill you with glee. It's about a young woman so lovely and tall who married a man who had no hips at all. What? No hips at all, no hips at all. She married a man who had no hips at all. Well, she'll remember the night that she wed. She picked up the covers and crawled into bed. She reached for his shoulder seemed small. She reached for his hips, he had no hips at all. What? No hips at all, no hips at all. She married a man who had no hips at all. Mother, oh, what shall I do? My sorrows are many, my pleasures but few. How did you ever allow me to fall for this son of a bitch who's got no hips at all? What? No hips at all, no hips at all. She married a man who had no hips at all. Daughter, dear daughter, now don't feel so sad. I had that same trouble with your dear old dad. Why, there's many young fellers will come at the call of the wife of a man who's got no hips at all. What? No hips at all, no hips at all. She married a man who had no hips at all. The young lady took her dear mother's advice and found the proceedings exceedingly nice. A 7-pound baby was born in the fall, but the poor little bastard had no hips at all. What? No hips at all, no hips at all. She married a man who had no hips at all. tiddly-eye-eye, 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 the one-eyed Riley, jig-a-jig-jig, 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 Trayvon. Sitting by the fireside, I was a-drinking gin and water. Suddenly there come to mind, I'd like to shag O'Reilly's daughter. Tiddly-eye-eye, 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 the one-eyed Riley, jig-a-jig-jig, 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 Trayvon. Oscar Brand is my name, America is my nation. Drinking gin, my claim to fame. Shagging girls, my occupation. Tiddly-eye-eye, 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 the one-eyed Riley, jig-a-jig-jig, 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 Trayvon. Well, walking through the park that day, who should I meet but O'Reilly's daughter? Never a word I had to say. Don't you think we really oughta? Tiddly-eye-eye, 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 the one-eyed Riley, jig-a-jig-jig, 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 Trayvon. Well, down the stairs and into bed, I shagged and shagged till I stove her. Never a word the maiden said. Laughed like hell till the fun was over. Tiddly-eye-eye, 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 the one-eyed Riley, jig-a-jig-jig, 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 Trayvon. I heard a knock upon the door. Who should it be but the one-eyed Riley? 2 horse pistols in his belt. He was in a fit entirely. Tiddly-eye-eye, 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 the one-eyed Riley, jig-a-jig-jig, 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 Trayvon. Well, I grabbed O'Reilly by the hair. I thrust his head in a pail of water, rammed the pistols up his butt. Damn sight hard, and I shagged his daughter. Tiddly-eye-eye, 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 the one-eyed Riley, jig-a-jig-jig, 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 Trayvon. Now all you lasses, all you maids, answer now and don't speak shyly. Would you have it straight and true, or the way I give it to the one-eyed Riley? Tiddly-eye-eye, 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 the one-eyed Riley, jig-a-jig-jig, 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 Trayvon. When I was apprenticed in London, I went to see my dear. The candles they were burning, the moon shone bright and clear. I knocked upon her window to ease her of her pain. She rose, she let me in, then she barred the door again. I like your well behavior, and thus I often say, I won't rest contented, love, while you are far away. The roads, they're so muddy, we cannot gang about. Come roll me in your arms, love, and blow the candles out. My father and my mother in yonder room do lie, hugging one another, so why not you and I? A-hugging one another without no fear nor doubt. Come roll me in your arms, love, and blow the candles out. And if we prove successful, love, pray name it after me. Keep it neat and kiss it sweet and dap it on your knee. When my 3 years are ended, my time it will be out. I will double my indebted love by blowing the candles out. Now my name, it is Sam Hall, it is Sam Hall. And I hate you one and all, and I hate you short and tall. You're a bunch of muckers all, damn your eyes, damn your eyes. You're a bunch of muckers all, damn your eyes. Oh, I killed a man, 'tis said, so 'tis said. Yeah, I shot him through the head just to fill his mind with lead, and I left him there for dead. Damn his eyes, damn his eyes. I left him there for dead, damn his eyes. Oh, the preacher, he did come, and he looked so bloody glum as he talked of kingdom come. He can kiss my ruddy bum. Damn his eyes, damn his eyes. He can kiss my ruddy bum. Damn his eyes. And the sheriff, he come too, with his bonny boys in blue, saying, Sam, we'll see you through. He can take a flying flu. Damn his eyes, damn his eyes. He can take a flying flu. Damn his eyes. To the gallows I must go, with those bastards down below, thinking that it's a bloody show, shouting, Sam, we told you so. Damn their eyes, shouting, Sam, we told you so. Damn their eyes. I saw Molly in the crowd, She was looking stooped and bowed, so I hollered right out loud, Hey Molly, ain't you proud? Damn your eyes, damn your eyes. Hey Molly, ain't you proud? Damn your eyes. Now in heaven I do dwell, and the truth it is to tell that it is a bloody cell. All the whores are down in hell. Damn their eyes, damn their eyes. The whores are down in hell. Damn their eyes. There once was a poet from McNamater, whose mistress kept calling him amateur. She said, your technique is too rotten antique, and your rhythm's iambic pentameter. Aye, 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 aye. In China they do it for Chile. So here comes another verse that's worse than the other verse. So waltz me around again, Willie. There once was a girl from St. Paul, wore a newspaper out to a ball. There came a great fire which burnt her attire, the front page sports section and all. Aye, 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 aye. In China they do it for Chile. So here comes another verse that's worse than the other verse. Waltz me around again, Willie. A hermit who lived in Belgrade kept a dead prostitute in his cave. Says he, I'll admit I'm a bit of a nit, but think of the money I save. Aye, 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 aye. In China they do it for Chile. So here comes another verse that's worse than the other verse. Waltz me around again, Willie. There once was a maiden named Myrtle who amused herself with a sea turtle. And what was phenomenal, a swelling abdominal, revealed that the turtle was fertile. Aye, 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 aye. In China they do it for Chile. So here comes another verse that's worse than the other verse. Waltz me around again, Willie. A newsboy in London named Grimes lured maids on to infamous crimes. I delivered, he'd boast, 2 globes in the post, and goodness knows how many times. Aye, 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 aye. In China they do it for Chile. So here comes another verse that's worse than the other verse. Waltz me around again, Willie. A very coy maid of Siam remarked to her boyfriend to try him. To undress me, of course, you might have to use force, but the Lord knows you're stronger than I am. Aye, 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 aye. In China they do it for Chile. So here comes another verse that's worse than the other verse. Waltz me around again, Willie. There's a maiden married at Chester. Her mother first cried, then she blessed her. She said, what a joy, he's a wonderful boy. I've had him myself down in Leicester. Aye, 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 aye. In China they do it for Chile. So here comes another verse that's worse than the other verse. Waltz me around again, Willie. There once was a maitre d'hotel who said, my guests can all go to hell. What they do to my wife is the bane of my life. The worst is they do it so well. Aye, 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 aye. In China they do it for Chile. But we haven't another verse that's worse than the other verse. So waltz me around again, Willie. As I went into the chandler's shop, some candles for to buy, I looked about the chandler's shop, but no one did I spy. Well, I was disappointed, so some angry words I said, when I heard the sound of a right above my head. Yes, I heard the sound of a right above my head. Well, I was slick and I was quick, so up the stairs I sped, and very surprised was I to find the chandler's wife in bed, and with her was another man of quite considerable size, and they were having a right before my eyes. Yes, they were having a right before my eyes. Ah, when the fun was over and done, the lady raised her head, and very surprised was she to find me standing by the bed. If you'll be discreet, my boy, if you will be so kind, you two can come up for some whenever you feel inclined. You two can come up for some whenever you feel inclined. So many a night and many a day when the chandler wasn't home, to get myself some candles through the chandler's shop I'd roam. But never a one she'd give to me, she'd give to me instead just a little bit more of that to light my way to bed. Just a little bit more of that to light my way to bed. Now all you married men, take heed whenever you go to town. If you must leave your woman alone, be sure to tie her down. Or if you would be kind to her, just set her down there on the floor and give her so much of that she doesn't want any more. Yes, give her so much of that she doesn't want any more.